Test, test, test. Yeah, this is the second time I'm filming this because I had the fucking mute button on again. Yeah, I'm suspended on Twitter again for a few more hours because some fucking losers started yelling at me, and I told them to stop, and they didn't. So I started calling them retarded ass losers. Then they had a hissy fit about it, so I posted it on Instagram because they can go eat shit, and no one likes them. Seriously, people are always like, "Why don't you talk to anyone? How come you always only follow people back?" Predominantly, I'll only follow you back because shit like this. People are gonna get their panties in a twist and be like, "Oh yeah, well, this person has 800 followers, and I can't believe you would say that." Well, go fuck yourself. How about you go put your house up for a mortgage so you can buy the dip, which really means, that everyone knows what that means. That means you probably mismanaged your money and now you're broke. All right? You quit your job, started begging for money, all that bullshit. You're a loser. So I called you a loser. You hang out with losers, so everyone doesn't like you. Some fucking loser named Crypto Baller who spends all his money on NFTs to the point he has to mortgage his house to get more money, and his stupid friends whose entire ego is based on whether or not people let them. Look, it was a conversation about how people were getting ripped off over the G Note multiplier thingy, and I was explaining to people my take on it. How I'm going into this in a second. How I have to I haven't talked about tape bullshit in a minute, but I have to go into it. It's fucking retarded, stupid crypto witch, and that stupid Tiffany bullshit. I got Girls' Generation. Anyways, so these guys are just losers. Okay, like I'm pretty sure I was blocking them on my other accounts. This is a new account. You guys are fucking losers. All right, no one likes you. Oh, oops. Oops. My shirt ripped again. No one likes you guys. Wasted all your money. Look, most of these fucking grifter losers, you wanna know why T-bill happened, the multiplier thing happened? Everyone quit their job. When T-Fuel and Theta went up, everyone quit their job. They cashed out a bunch of money. They started spending that money. Then the market tanked. Okay? Then they found out that tax season was coming and they had to pay money for all the shit they spent because they cashed out too early. Okay? Then they were like, fuck. Well, it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't planned, that multiplier bullshit. They were like, fuck, I need the money now. Let me go ahead and just do it. And again, the chance of because again, there could have been an 8x multiplier, not a 4x multiplier. The chances of these multipliers were so rare that, in my opinion, what they were doing was they were spending like lottery tickets, just buying as many multipliers as they could, hoping they would get it, and then they got it, and then they probably like split it somehow amongst themselves. Probably no proof on that. It's normally what happens with inside jobs like this. Okay? Now, think about it. Why would this fucking... So I was talking about that and how you can still use... It's a decent investment still. The premise is okay. And how you can still use that to your advantage. And then some fucking loser comes around and starts talking about, like, begging for money when their parents get sick. It's like, you can go fuck yourself. I know you're trying to make a joke. I know you're trying to make a friend. I don't want to be friends with you. Go away. I'm not obligated to be your friend, you dumb piece of shit. I would rather you and everyone who thinks you're funny get the fuck out of my life. You're a loser. You're a loser. You contribute zero to society. You offer nothing to society. You don't do anything with your life. Your entire ego and self-worth is based around an app made for teenagers that was actually designed by the CIA and marketed through InQtel front company. So you are a victim of mind control. That's why I say you're retarded sheep. I don't give a fuck what you do or what you say. Okay, you are compromised. Get away from me. You're stupid. Go be stupid over there. Oh, your stupid little friend. Milady, I can't... You're projecting. You're a loser and you need to go fuck yourself. As a matter of fact, how about you unfuck yourself? That's what it is. These losers, the last time they got a piece of ass is when they were wiping their ass and their fingers went through the toilet paper. And that made them feel special, so they wanted to blog about it. And so I spend all day on Twitter. I don't give a fuck about you. When I get unsuspended, I'm going to keep calling you losers, and if you respond to me, I'm going to say that you're a loser again. And if that account gets banned again, I'll make another account and call you a loser again, because you're a loser. Okay? If you don't want to be called a loser, stop acting like a loser. This is just like in World of Warcraft. You camp a retarded alley, a lion's character. They start crying and all that bullshit, and you just sit on them and wait for them to respawn, and you kill them again. I don't give a fuck. I can do that with my time because I paid my dues and you haven't. Okay? I'm still getting paid and paying my bills on time. I don't give a fuck. I'm wasting time. It's this or argue with Tiffany about stupid bullshit. I'm just going to let her simmer because she's planning something. Whatever. So, look, we don't want to bring in these grifters because they're all grifters. Even the Tates are grifters, all right? You haven't figured that shit out yet? That's like the war room and all their fucking things. That's their getting cash back, right? Like, guys, as I understand it, the way the K-pop world works is like even when you debut, you basically owe money because they invested money in you, so you got to pay it back. So when you get to your first contract renewal, that's actually when you start getting paid. It's like, okay, well now your first contract was paying us back. Now you can start getting paid. That's why I was just complaining about how like I don't think Tiffany has as much money as she should. This bitch has been doing this shit for 15 years, right? Her whole life has been K-popping. Right? And she only has the amount of money she has because she had to pay back all the fucking people who put the money into her in the first place, which in my opinion, that's why I said K-pop is basically a level or two above human trafficking. I don't want to get into it. Like, human trafficking is you get people who are suffering emotional trauma and then you exploit them. Like, I don't want to get into it and all that bullshit. They're fucking still mad at me and all this horseshit, but person I was helping before, and again, super glad, got the degree and certification, gonna get an awesome job and live their life and whatnot, but, obvious victim of human trafficking, like childhood trauma, moving around a lot, international, UN bullshit, creepy people, right, older managers, all that bullshit, right? Now, again, I'm not telling their story, I'm just giving a generalization, okay? Now, Tiffany thing basically suffers a massive emotional loss at a young age, runs away to Korea, and basically gets exploited by a bunch of people until she learns how to exploit to get money. Again, like the line she's been using on me, someone had to use on her first. That's why I'm still very upset about it. Like, I knew she wasn't like innocent, but like I don't want to get into that right now. I'm just gonna fucking start punching things. Retarded. Anyways, so Tate's the War Room. That's their way of making money. They had to pay in, buy in, play the game, put up the thing, whatever. Do they have their own money? Sure. I'm saying, what do most people do when they make $100,000? They leverage that to make $1 million. Then they leverage that to make $10 million. Then they leverage that to make $100 million. I'm saying that the War Room was a way to leverage a reinvestment back and get paid back by fleecing the sheep. Because the only way these motherfuckers work is by having them take your shit. Again, like, you can't put a gun to a tree and say, give me more fruit. You can put a gun to a human and say, give me the fruit you picked off that tree. Right? Now, Tate went on a rant, and again, in my opinion, it's like, because I refuse to play their game and join up with them and do all that bullshit, whoever pulls the Tate strings, right? What they'll do is they'll just copy me, and then they'll like, okay, well, we can't do that, we'll have someone over there do it, right? All the shit Tate put out the video about is basically everything that I put out a video about for the past a year and a half every now and then, about how the Satanists use this shit against you and the people she used and all that bullshit. What they're not going into, and in my opinion on purpose, is they're saying that the reason why I'm not even gonna link it. Tate expands on the Balenciaga thing. Basically, how like they're using that thing about how they believe if they tell you what they're doing, then they're not responsible for doing it to you. They're doing that thing, right? So, should comb or cut my hair, to be quite honest. So I just put a hat on because then I don't have to worry about it. But take it one step further. What they're really doing is they're dehumanizing you. Okay? It's not that, they're tricking you into not accepting your karma. They're tricking you into, we're Satanists and it's our religion. It's actually, that's also all a front. What they're actually doing is they're reintroducing caste systems. You can't even say, hi, this is the caste system. This is our pyramid of power. Everything, the Masonic structure, military structure, corporate structure, it's all from the same structure. That's not human. Human is abundance and get along and all that bullshit. So anyways, they can't say we're making a new structure where we are the haves and you are the have-nots. What they say is karma and religion, and money and price. And after enough time, just like I was saying, how like the people shoes, like at one point in time, they were like, if you look into it, antediluvian civilizations, at one point in time, the average human was like between 9 to 12 foot tall, according to, antediluvian bullshit. That might sound far-fetched, but look at the average Roman citizen. It was 5'3" to 5'5" tall, right? Look, Tiffany's 5'3". The average American bitch is like 5'10", right? The way your genetics have come about. Also, the same that Tiffany's like a bajillion times smarter than the average white bitch. I'm not even gonna get into that shit. Easily, her brain is actually been developed and not retarded down by watching SpongeBob and shit like that. But I'm saying like even in today's day and age, the variation of humans wouldn't be far fetched. Like all I'm saying is like 10,000 years ago, what is tall now would be considered short then. That's actually quite common. What was it? What is it? Like the crocodiles used to be like giants, as big as dinosaurs. Now they're just crocodile sized, right? It happens. But at that point though, wouldn't you have a separate race? Not even race, like genus, category, phylum, kingdom, all that bullshit, right? Like, why do we not feel guilt? I mean, you feel some guilt because you're not supposed to, right? But like, we just had Thanksgiving. Did you feel guilty when you ate that turkey? You probably said grace or a prayer or a chant. But did you really feel bad that, you ate all that shit? No. It's just a fucking animal. That's what it's there for, right? Right? You got leather jacket. Let's say you're the biggest churchgoer ever, right? Probably you've got some kind of a scriptures. Let's say you're Mormon and you got your triple combination, right? And you open it up into that nice leather scripture bookcase, right? You open it up, right? That was a cow or a sheep. That was a living thing. And someone killed it and flayed its organs out and rubbed salt on its skin and then tanned it and then scraped it off and then here you go, put your holy scriptures in this, right? How is that different from a demon tome, right? Think about it. I can't remember what it's called. There's some demon tome that supposedly it has all the knowledge a human can ever attain in one book, and it was written in one night. And the story goes that the Pope or some shit like that in the Middle Ages was like, I'm going to kill you in the morning unless you get this task done. So he sold his soul to the devil and to some compendium of knowledge, and it's supposed to be like a giant book written and wrapped in human skin, right? If we have our holy books that we write wrapped in sheep and cow skin, like it's an everyday thing, why wouldn't a demon, angel, alien, Anunnaki, proto-human, why wouldn't they have their holy shit in people skin? Right? If the Book of Mormon, King James Version of the Bible, the Pearl of Great Price, those are our holy books as Mormons, and we wrap them in sacrificial lambs that we've murdered and killed and flayed and turned into coverings for our holy books, what is the difference between that if you just replace sheep with human and human with proto-human, Anunnaki, reptilian, whatever you want to call it, all right? So it's not really a religion, okay? And the Tates are only even saying that, in my opinion, because I'm saying what I'm saying, and it's getting too big. And they're like, oh, well, he's loosely affiliated with the Tates and all that bullshit, and, all that bullshit. So, like, we'll go ahead, and to be quite honest, they look up to me a whole fuck ton. Like, someone showed me some rant about how they were going on about how, like, the biggest power in the world is not giving a fuck. I was like, I don't care. I have shit to do. Fucking. I want to get into it. Make sure my passport's renewed. Right? Anyways. So that's what the big... It's not a religion thing. It's not a religion thing. Okay? That's the excuse. That's the ceremony. That's the smoke and mirrors. That's like when you wake up in the morning on Christmas and it says, to so-and-so from Santa. You know it's not from Santa. They know it's not from Santa. You don't really give a shit. You just want the present, right? You go through the ceremony, right? Like, you can even find the present a week before, and they'll be like, you don't get this on Christmas. You don't appreciate what I do for you. We're going to family. We're going to take a picture together. And we're going to open the presents, right? That's what it is. It's not really a religion. It's just something you have to do so you can get the present, right? The alien, proto-human, whatever the fucks that run the banks, they're like, be a good little human dog, be a good little human pet, and do this, or you don't get it. Sit human. All right. Flay their skin and make them into shoes. See, I control them. That's a good little human. You know, we make dogs like, all right, do the obstacle course. Up, jump, sit, down, roll over. Doesn't have any point. They're just doing it to do it. Or you have like dog fights. That dog killed that other dog. Yeah, bite his balls off. Yeah. What's the point of that? I'm bored. That's how they do to us. Religion, entertainment, movies. They're bored. They're bored, and we are their pets. Because we're on a farm. And on some level, they sold out more than other people did, and they got rewarded with more things. Like, I think Tiffany's figuring that out right now. I think Tiffany got taken advantage of so much. I think she's very, very naive and just injured. I don't want to get into it. You want to know why? Her song, Lips on Lips, just hit 20 million plus downloads on Spotify. And Lips on Lips sounds like it's about a makeout song that you would like take some bitch to, like, you know, the Overlook and my car ran out of gas and like make out and all that bullshit. But if you watch the video, it's actually a song about her getting married and kissing the love of her life. Okay? That's some subconscious, like, I'm trapped, I didn't sign up for this, what do I do? Now I can't stop because the debt to the company, now I gotta pay it back and get my money back and all that bullshit. And that's what they do to you. It's like a credit card. Like right now, I'm like, shit. Like, you know, I'm not paycheck to paycheck, but I've got like 4 cycles until I'm all my silver and my credit card's paid off, right? And then I'm done. But imagine getting into a cycle that's never done. That's what these karmic cycles are. That's what they trick you into believing, all right? Because as long as you're stuck in a karmic cycle, you don't figure out that there's something above you. The best way to fool people into thinking that they're not the top of the food chain, that they are the top of the food. If you think they're the top of the food chain, they're never gonna look above them. Like we're a human farm, right? Or like a human safari. The lion in the safari that's fenced in thinks it's still the king of the jungle until a jeep rolls in and fucking shoots it for sport, right? No, until a little UFO saucer for sport. Oh, we need some clean DNA. We need some more subjects. We need some more human meat. We need some more human shoes, right? That's what it is. That's what it is, right? They don't feel any remorse because they are not us. They are not you. They're not even them. There's some crazy shit about how, okay, look, in Final Fantasy Tactics, they used the stones to basically transfer symbiotic spirit demons to take over the host body, like in Stargate with the Goa'uld, and shit like that. I mean, that's probably soft disclosure and something like that. That's probably why all these crazy people do things that are so anti-human. So, I mean, reading between the lines, what are they not telling you? What they are not telling you is there is something out there other than humans that treats humans the way we treat dogs. We are their pets. I'm not their pet. I'm free range. That's why they hate me so much. That's why they do bullshit. Like, get sellout grifters like Crypto Witch to fucking... Well, I don't want to get into it, right? I even think to some level they got to Tiffany. I can't even get into that bullshit too. I don't want to get into it. Like, this is why I keep to myself and don't talk to anyone. Seriously. Seriously. I don't. There's no point to it. Everyone on some level is compromised. I was gonna say some shit about how NFTs should be used for K-pop because maybe I'll do it later. I don't really want to get into it right now. I was kind of fanboying a little bit over Tiffany's scenes and whatnot. She's a good actress and whatnot, and they left me hanging. The last scene, she's running around in this skimpy ass skirt, and she's like, "Excuse me," and some motherfucker flashes a badge and they start ripping her office apart. And I guess we'll have to wait until next week. But until then, I'm just gonna like do shit and whatever, and not really worried about it. Look, this is the thing. Like, I'm just gonna let this thing play itself out and let herself tire herself out. Again, like it would. I hate to say it like this, but like, if I would have chased her down and been like, "No, we're meant to be together," and all that bullshit, then I'd be a little worried about it if I didn't hear from her in a while. But like, seeing as how she chased me down and keeps trying to like pin me down in between her like shooting gig things and whatever the fuck. I'm not worried about it. She's probably just busy. But that's the other thing. In my opinion, the reason why everyone is jumping on the Balenciaga shit, and I'm not even gonna say it. Okay, look, Girls' Generation really is my fans. Like, look, they can't flat out be like, yeah, we watch his videos, we think he's cute, we want to play with his hair and all that bullshit. They can't say that because they have managers and whatnot. Tiffany says that in her own little way, and I can't deal with this bullshit. She's trying to elicit a response from me so she can be like, that's what you do. What do you think about that? Huh? Maybe you should do this more. But I just don't want to. I just don't have the inclination to get into that right now or this week, to be quite honest. So I'm just going to ignore it. And it will... Something will happen. That is guaranteed. But yeah, so the other day when I like put the Balenciaga end awareness and I tagged all the Girls' Generation, look, these girls have millions of followers. I think like Sooyoung might have the least amount of followers on Instagram, and it's probably because she's had a boyfriend for so long, to be quite honest. All right, but like so again, if they were anti the message I put them on, if they were pro Balenciaga, they would have untagged themselves from that thing. They would have been like, no, we can't associate with that motherfucker, block it, all that bullshit. They didn't do that. They immediately backed it up by posting pictures of them with any other brand but Balenciaga. Because that way they're saying, look, we're contractually obligated as super high-end fashion models to not say anything, but we will show that we don't work with that dumb bitch. And then because of that, what happened? A day or two went by, and I remember I said that at the last fashion show thingy, I don't remember what it's fucking called. I think it's that one that Yuna went to in Paris. All the Korean bitches outdid the American bitches because all the American bitches are fat and ugly now. It's just what it is. Because they're all woke and stupid, and no one likes them. They can go fuck themselves. And then, yeah, so then because of that, the Kardashian bitch got Kimball Kardashian, whatever the fucking younger one is, got overshadowed by all the K-pop bitches. So, I post super awesome AI art that I think could be approved on. Tag Girls' Generations and Jessica, we are all Jessica, with Balenciaga awareness and trafficking and all that bullshit, and 2 days later, Kim Kardashian speaks out against it, right? Now all the other influencers are talking out against it, and now because people are like, who's this motherfucker talking about with stupid Tiffany. She's gonna get me involved in so much shit I don't want to be involved in. I can already tell. But then who's this motherfucker? And then they start watching my shit, and they're like, oh well. They're like, we need to deflect it. He can't be stealing our attention, or because like since they print money, that money isn't really a problem to them. What they need is your attention. What they need is your resources. What they need is you. Because like, what is worship? Why do the gods want worshipers so much? Because at some point in time, you can only magnify your resources by taking someone else's. So by worshiping, like Spirit Bomb, Goku, give me your power. Wah! You can't make a spirit bomb without a planet's energy. So that's why they want worshipers. That's why they're lying and trying to sell you all this bullshit. And you can't worship someone on your level, so they never want you to get on their level. That's why they'll always give you 90% truths and 10% lie to keep you in this circle, the loop, where they can always steal your energy. They want you to make money on, like, they'll help you make money. And that way, when you make the money, they'll give you the other one. That way, they fleece you on that one. And they'll take 50% of what you made. Oh, man, that one didn't go south, but the other ones you made money on, right? Meanwhile, so if I help 10 people make $100,000, and then I fleece $50,000 from each of them, I've just made $500,000. And they still made $50,000. That's how it works. That's how worshipers work. That's what they won't tell you. That's why they're trying to make it into caste system again. They literally want you to be a different genus, phylum, kingdom, organism, all that biology shit. They want you to be a new one other than them. They want it to be those animal goyim things that we can turn into shoes. They want that and them. They want to wrap you around their sacred scriptures. You are a cow to them. That is what they are not. It's not about karma. It's not about woke. It's not about alpha. It's about, at the end of the day, it's about being free. And you motherfuckers are not free. You can be broke as shit and be free. You can be rich as fuck and be a slave. Alright? A lot of these fuckers are rich as fuck slaves. They are not free. Okay? They may be what's that term? Like they're well trained. They can be let off the leash, but they are not free. Do not mistake that for freedom. But I'm done ranting for today. And when I get back on Twitter, I'm just going to call those assholes again. What are they going to do? Ban me again? I'll make another account. My self-worth isn't based off of whether or not fucking perfect strangers on an app made for teenagers want to befriend me. Guess what? The app made for teenagers was made by InQtel, a CIA front company, to fucking psyop you, you dumb motherfucker. That's why you're retarded. Because as they're psyoping you, they're dumbing everyone down and making you into sheep while they become the next proto-humans. See, they are accepting the fact that they can't be... There is the proto-humans and the humans. Okay? So these people got together and said, we can distance ourselves and make it a third thingy here. We can never beat the proto-humans. They are our masters. They are our lords. Thank you so much for giving us banking. Thank you so much for helping us enslave them with oil and taxes. Thank you so much for that. Oh, we love you guys. Please let me play with your earlobes and your giant brain lobes and all that shit. Thank you so much, our proto-human masters. So they can never beat them. So instead, they're like, okay, well, let's take these other humans and let's not feed them well, and let's not educate them, and let's fuck with their genetics by having them do kinds of weird genetic tests on them and not telling them through social sciences and whatnot. 100 years, 200 years later, it's been about 100 years since eugenics started. Oh, please, you're our masters. Thank you so much for the digital banking currency. Please, thank you for letting me have the COVID passport so I can go travel around. Please, thank you so much. Oh, please. Let me sign your contract, please, Harvey Weinstein. Please, Bankman-Fried, let me fucking... I don't even want to imagine what those fucking losers were doing to each other. Please, that's how it works. That's how it works. What should happen is all of us go... whoosh. That's what's supposed to happen. Anyways, peace out.